A big driver behind labeling the slides with the I, P, A, or D was that it would empower teachers to understand exactly where this content fell on the spectrum of student understanding. If it's an I, student doesn't know it. If it's P, student has learned it, but they haven't really begun to master it yet. This is the first step. If it's an A, students need to, at this point, understand and be able to use the content. If you see an E slide, maybe at the beginning of lesson 5, for instance, you know that the student has seen this content, they've practiced it, they've applied it. Your task at that point is then to push it, extend it, and connect it with previously learned material. Same thing with a D slide. At that point, you know student needs to understand it because they are currently being assessed. So it allows you to understand, like I said, where this particular piece of content falls on the range of understanding.
I think the IPA approach really just speaks to the philosophy of VIP Kids instruction. So we've always started with I do. So I'm presenting the material, I'm introducing you to it. And in the level 2, that means that we're repeating a word over and over again, working on pronunciation, working on retaining that vocabulary, and then moving to the teacher-led guidance, which is the we do. So we're doing this together, but I'm really providing you with the support to get you there. And then the application, of course, is the you do. The student is kind of taking over the reins and is taking more responsibility for the activity based on the practice. They are able to then apply it themselves. I think one of the great things about the new curriculum and how the material is presented is it allows for so much more differentiation among students. For some students who are average to lower level 2s, on the introductory slide, you're going to spend a whole lot of time just repeating that new term or concept over and over again, maybe for pronunciation and for retention. However, for your more advanced student, maybe you spend less time on that slide and you spend more of your time in the application slide, allowing the student to use that concept, even applying it to new and different situations. So I think your time spent on these slides will vary, and sometimes it varies among students based on their abilities. I think the IPA actually allows for more flexibility. It allows for that time to either expand. So for a student that needs more practice, you're able to spend more time on a slide. Or if a student has mastered a concept and you need to extend, you have that flexibility. There's a lot of a variation in how you might teach these slides. So, if there's one word on the slide, maybe for your lower student, producing that word over and over again is enough. That's difficult enough for that student. If you have a more advanced student, that student might actually be able to use the word in a sentence already. So I think understanding the level of your student and adapting the lesson, differentiating to meet their needs is important.